And then my friend Brittany found me in the bathtub with a gun. Hey, y'all, Jamie here, proud 56-year-old trans woman from New Orleans. So, where last I left off, trigger warning again. Yesterday and today have been dealing with some rather dark things. Yesterday dealt with the last SA that I ever experienced, and today is the continuation of that story. So if all of that bothers you, I apologize. But, these are real things that happen in our lives, and especially being a trans woman, being SA'd is almost guaranteed. When you are a trans woman in this world, becoming a victim of SA is like almost a guarantee in life. And for me, it happened many, many times. Many times. In fact, when I was a teenager, it happened so often that the girls called it paying our taxes. And that's no lie. It literally happened so often we called it paying our taxes. And a lot of the times it was police officers that committed these assaults. So in this particular case, it was a customer that had been around the bars for years. All the girls knew him. I don't know if he ever did this to anyone else, but all the girls knew who he was. And I had gone home with him. I had brought him back to my house, and things got violent and things got out of control. And he tossed me around, and things got very ugly with some instruments that were there. And I ended up, Bobby Joe, my best friend, one of my best friends, came home from the bar in the wee hours of the morning to find me in the bed in a puddle of blood. And I was scrubbing. I was trying to strip the bed to get it all cleaned up. I was in shock. And Bobby was like, "Jamie, what the fuck? What's going on? What happened?" And I'm trying to I'm shaking, and I'm telling her about what transpired, and she's asking who was this guy, and I'm trying to explain to her who he was. And I'm like, "Girl, we know him from the bar, like all of us know him." And I'm telling her who he is. And when I explained who he was, even she was like, "Oh my god, him." And she was in shock. And so the two of us, we were there in the apartment alone. I had thrown Mickey out. He was off with his little 18-year-old piece, Desi. And Bobby helped me. She helped me clean up the mess. I changed my sheets. The blood had seeped through to the mattress. And it was all over the mattress. Like we're talking a big around as a space as big around as a pillow. Like imagine your bed pillow on your bed, and then imagine a space that big, completely covered in blood. And blood smeared all over. But the heaviest part was right there in the center of the bed. And we scrubbed the mattress with Tide with bleach, and you know we did our best to get it as cleaned up as we could. And so I didn't tell anybody. We kept this between the two of us. And I went back to working at Le Roundup that summer. This happened, I want to say around June, or June or early August. Might have been early August, probably early August by the time this happened. And so yeah, I compartmentalized. I shoved it down. I stuffed it down, and I kind of started partying really extra hard. I was still dating this guy, Danny, who I had kind of rubbed in Mickey's face right after we broke up. Danny had taken me out on a date. We went to go see, I'll never forget, he took me to see the South Park movie, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And we went to see that movie for our date, and we went to Blockbuster after the date, at the end of the date, and he waltzed me, literally waltzed me through the parking lot of Blockbuster. And we went back to his apartment, and we made some good memories, and I dove into that relationship. Listen, I probably like dove straight into Danny because of the shock of what happened with that SA. And Bobby Joe, oh yeah, Bobby Joe, the next time that guy had gone into the double play where Miss Dew, our friend Miss Dew, she owned the bar and she also attended bar there. When the guy walked into the double play, Bobby Joe was like, Miss Jew, that's the guy. And she told her what he did to me. And Miss Jew got her doorman to throw the guy out. And as the doorman, David, who's still a friend of mine today, as David was throwing this guy out of the bar, Bobby Joe was screaming at him, you fucking rapist, you fucking rapist. Nobody said who he raped. She didn't out me on that. But she was just screaming at him, calling him a fucking rapist. And he got, you know, he stopped coming around after that. I didn't really see him after that. I don't know if my situation with him was, I don't know if he did it before me, you know? But anyway, so I had gone, Danny and I are dating, and they had a mud wrestling event at La Roundup it was my idea to do the mud wrestling, and it was being held for Southern Decadence, which is like gay Mardi Gras in New Orleans. It's like their big pride event, and it's held on Labor Day weekend. And afterwards, Danny threw a fit, threw a complete and utter fit. So badly so, and stepped all over my heart so badly so that later that morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, my friend Brittany, who does the silicone work, was staying with me and Bobby Joe, and she walked into my bathroom to find me in my bathtub holding a 25 automatic, naked in the tub, just holding a 25 automatic, staring at it. And if y'all want to know what happens next, darling, y'all know the routine. Be here next time and I will too. I love you all. I love you all for watching, and I love you for the comments. I'll talk to you later, y'all.